March 8th, 9:47 p.m. This will be for youtube.com/@symbol IAMWADEHEINEMAN. Always been male, never been female, never worn any female clothing, never have been, or never wanted to, whatever the stage lies. I'm Wade Allen Heineman, 54 years old, 10.7-inch hands. Green eyes, not blue. There's my scarred finger. And we'll get this out of the way right away. 10.7-inch hands. And 191,652 miles on my Ford Expedition. There is my Upphone Excellente. Here's that pink diamond stone that I showed before. What do I do with that now? My left side fell down. I'll just sit that there instead of on the dash, but you can see I'm at my parents' red and white barn home here. I got here, roll this window down. You can see the barn home and the garage and my vehicle. And the deciduous rims out there, their yard light, and the little trailer. And in my, you see the little trailer in my rearview mirror there. We'll get to, it's really hard to see on, you can see it's blue though, that means it's diamond. This is a UV light. And there it is when it's turning black and white almost. It's bad. It's not a great cam on my phone, but here's the other stone. You can see where it's outlined, that cube there. There's diamond crystal. And you can see it glows blue in there. It's easier to see when it's not on this cam, like just with your regular eyes, but you can see it's the outline there is blue. That means it's diamond. It also passes all the other tests for diamonds, all 3 other tests for diamonds. So, hardness, thermal conductivity, and specific gravity. And I was in the shed half mile north Fairbank all day as usual. Today, it says it down here, pulled out of the shed 3/8/26, 7 p.m., pulled out of the shed, leaving 7:05. I was inside the shed all day alone. And that was since like, I don't know, was it 6:30 a.m.? I'll find out here. It's usually a tad, yeah, 5 p.m. I slept 3 p.m. in the shed. Oh, that's for today. I slept 3 to 4:50 p.m. Let's see if it's attached to that one yet. Yeah, 7:07. Since 6:10 a.m., I was in the shed half mile north of Fairbank Island, V68. I was parked at the parents' all overnight until 6 a.m. So I got to go back. Pulled out of the shed at 7 p.m., left at 7:05 p.m. today. And then I was at Dollar General, Dunkerton, 7:50 to 8:30. Young female fraud staging a liner, white car next to me, unknown white male in his 20s, southern accent with unknown black-haired female, wearing all black and gray baseball cap. Don't know who he was. He tried to deny he knew who I was because he came in there stalking me. He was obviously stalking me. This is what these people do. And he tried to deny it, and then I caught he had a southern accent, and I said, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "None of your effing business." That's what these cowardly frauds do. They follow me around, don't know who they are, don't know who his woman was either. If he tries to claim I knew who he's with, I have no fucking idea who they are. Same thing with the little girl parked next to me there. Young female fraud staging a liner, white car next to me. She pulled up next to me in Dollar General. They stalk me and stage lies. They're cowardly frauds. And it was indicated like somebody didn't get the information that I said my father staged a lie with his dog weeks ago. I've said this several times since that time on my x.com/WADES2ND. And it was indicated like I'm forgetting something or I have Alzheimer's. No, everything I post, all the truth is posted on my X account every day. X.com/WADES2ND. 50 to 100 posts a day. They should be showing everything I'm doing every day for the last years. So if you're not seeing that, then that's why you're being misled by the devious frauds, because someone is not allowing, that would mean that the truth is not being shown. But I post about the truth every day, 50 to 100 posts. I've had no friendship since 2016. Anyone calling me indicated the fraud calling me their dog is lying again. He is a worthless, coward, liar, fraud. No idea who the piece of shit is. Still, if anybody would tell me who he was, we would get this over with real quick. He is a criminal, liar, fraud, thief, probably thieving many valuable stones since March of 2024 when I first started finding them. Nobody should have any valuable stones that knows me. I found them all in my parents' field, and they've stolen them 75 times. And whether they stole some that day I thought they broke into my vehicle last or not, my keys are still missing. My first set of keys are still missing. So I have my second set of keys. And I don't know what people think I'm lying about. They hit me with energy attacks again the last 2 days to puff up my body, because I guess that fraud piece of shit in that white F-150 that was in town, I'm guessing, the one that pulled up next to me on Main Street a couple times and tried to taunt me. He's in his 20s, little Peckerwood. Probably him, so they had to puff up my body so I didn't resemble my photographs at all again. And this is indicated today, Disney star Bella Thorne. I have no idea who she is. So I've heard the song every rose has its thorn. They play often when they're trying to indicate a fraud. I don't know who the rose or who the thorn is, but it's some kind of indication like that. Like when they play The Boys Are Back in Town, when these douchebags are back in town that are absolute liar frauds. Don't know who they are. And I've never known a gay guy. I've never in my life known a gay, and it's indicated back to friends with him. I've never known him. He is a criminal fraud piece of garbage, whoever it is. And I would never have anything with a male. Never had any intimacy or sexual thing with a male or kind of relationship. It would never happen. It's fucking repulsive to me to think of being with a male. I would never be with a male. And I'm just scrolling down this is my posts on my X account. Netanyahu made a Freudian slip and said the bombing of 9/11 instead of the planes hitting it. As everybody knows now, there's more evidence on 9/11 to Israel by far than any other entity. Israel has all the evidence pointing at them. This says what Goyim are to the Zionist Jews. Goyim were born only to serve them. And Goyim are anyone that are non-Jews. They'd lose if they were. Imagine that one's donkey would die, they'd lose their money. This is the servant. That's what he gets, a long life to work for the Jew. That's what they think of everyone else. This is out of their Talmud. The difference between the Jewish soul and the soul of the Gentiles is greater and deeper than the difference between the soul of a man and the soul of an animal. That's what these fuckers think of us, the Zionists. So, their God, Baal, B-A-A-L. So I've said, burn Baal forever. And I found out, actually, that's what Jesus said, is to burn Baal for, that he really hated the God, B-A-A-L. And that's why Israel gets upset when Iran burns their God, Baal, B-A-A-L, because they worship that cowhead God or whatever it is. That's probably where the golden calf came from, that, in the Bible, God condemned. That's probably where the golden calf came from. But the Jews in their Talmud basically think of everyone else as animals, and they think they're the only people. That's how rotten they are. That's how deranged and rotten. That's why they can justify raping children, eating, some of them get really Satanist and eat people or sacrifice children. That's because it all stems from the Talmud, that they think they are entitled to do anything to what they call goyim, which is anybody that are non-Jews. And it says if goyim, this is what they say in their own Talmud. If the goyim knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly. That's what they say about, it. So they know what they say about us is heinous and wrong, and they believe it. So that's why they do what they do. Jeffrey Epstein and the people around him, they justify it by the Talmud. None of Epstein's victims were Jewish. None of the children were Jewish that Epstein was involved in trafficking or whatever else he did, whether he's involved in the sacrificing or eating them or whatever that these rotten people do. I don't know. But on the front page is the mark of the beast. That is not in the Bible. The Star of David is never in the Bible. It is a 6-pointed star. It has 6 triangles on it and a 6-sided hexagon in the center. The mark of the beast is a symbol 666, and that's what that is. It is a star of Remphan. It is not the star. It is a deception. Star of Remphan. Remphan is a god of child sacrifice. And that's why you have all this stuff centered around Israel. It is an evil society. Swollen from energy attacks, as it says. I had that spelled correctly. Some of this stuff they change after I posted it. And I'm going to have to change that right now. Let's just do it right here while I'm... that's because the data's not on. I'll edit photo. Oh, not to edit photo. Shoot. It's hard to see things at once. Here, there we go. Okay. Energy attacks. Okay, I got it spelled right now. Swollen from energy attacks. You see it says 3/8/26 at Wade's second. And this shows some of my physics stuff. The original theory that is published on my, when I published on Intuitive Days at WebNode in 2016, 2017. That was in 2017. I posted my whole book. My physics book, my original book, and then it's, some of this stuff is updated here in my old physics. They erased some of my links to YouTube videos in my old physics, and I have to track those down again. And then attached is my more info on my 2-slit experiment, how I see the as a kind of a reverse boat wake, pushing the ether forward, and the paths of the particle, or the energy particles. I see them as energy particles. Energy or light is both particle and wave. I see them all as actually particles. And they're pushing these no momentum photons. All these would be packed everywhere. I didn't make them everywhere so I could illustrate these, splitting through and pushing these. This is the ether. This is meant to represent the ether. These little bunches of stuff in the slit. That's meant to represent the ether. These are all my ideas. This sun, as you can see, stemmed from October 16th, 2023, 12:39 p.m. at Wade's second 2-slit experiment. Exposes interference appearance patterns of waves where gravity is a low impact player. Light particles are being scattered at intersections. Water waves do a similar thing, but it's like the difference between a whirlpool, gravity dominated, and quasar. So I just went further in explaining it in this illustration on, what day did I do that? Down here, February 24th at 2:37 p.m. 2026. So these little bunches down here represent the ether of no momentum photons, and it's pushing those photons. Basically, it is transferring energy from one to the next, or if it doesn't hit them directly, it is continuing on. So it's kind of it's a momentum thing for these photons. And just imagine a water wake behind a boat, and it's kind of the same thing that it's doing as it comes through here. What I would like to see in this experiment is to have a wall here, and then send energy through here. So a wall between these two light sources, one light source here, or energy source if you're putting, whatever piece of energy you're throwing through there, an electron, whatever you want to, put whatever you're putting through there. Put a wall between these two, send the light through here as there's a wall between, send it through it when there's no wall, same thing on this side, and then send them through together. And then this wall right here, move it back and forth so you see the pattern, see what the pattern does back and forth, so it's not at the same distance here all the time. So it is 10:09 p.m. Sunday, March 8th, Central Standard Time, 2026. So I just described that, how this is what I've been thinking of for a long time on this experiment, that this should be moved back and forth a long distance, further and further, to see what happens. And there should be a wall placed between these two light or energy sources or sending sources here, and see what an individual source from one side with the wall in between does, what the other one does, and then what they both do with the wall, and then without the wall, same thing, and repeat it and slide that back wall back and forth. Because I think there might be a difference when you put a wall between these two, as to what this pattern will do if you put a wall between here, because it may interrupt the ether, but the ether may be undisturbed by it. But I have a feeling that it will have a feeling if you put a wall between here, from right here back toward the light sources, not over here, but just from this side of the wall back to between the light sources, and then do one light source, then the other, then both of them, and then take the wall out and do the same thing. I think there may be some evidence of a pattern could be seen then. Wade Allen Heineman, 54 years old, parked at my parents' red and white barn home tonight, and I'll roll the window down again so you can see that it's real, and the little trailers in the background there next to the power pole. That's there's a bell on top of that, and my dad puts ears of corn on there for the birds, but a lot of times squirrels get that. I don't know what else to say. I'm a male heterosexual, never been in the military, never been married, not been on a plane or jet since 2011. Not ridden a motorcycle since 1996. Whoever calls me their dog, pet, cat, robot, animal, or subservient is a lying criminal, and nobody will tell me who they are, so they are cowardly, fraudulent, lying criminals that have no honor, no integrity, no courage, no bravery, and no character, and are likely thieves.